Today we are building a wide body for this. This is my 1970 something Datsun 620. This is one of the early builds on the channel, and this build has faced more adversity than anything else I've ever built in my entire life, on the channel or off the channel. It started as a project with me and a friend. Shortly after it really started taking off, my YouTube channel got stolen. We got back going on the project. It got going good again and started doing well. And then coronavirus came and we got under quarantine, and so I couldn't go to my buddy Chase's house to work on this thing anymore. So Chase continued to work on it for a little while, but it was putting a lot of stress on him because he also has his own business. It has just been an insane job. Now for those of you who have not seen this car somehow, basically what you're looking at is a I can't remember the year, 620. It came with a little bitty 4-cylinder engine. We took that out. We put an LS motor right in the center, so it's directly under the dash right here. The cab in front lift up so that you can access the motor. It's on airbags, as you can tell. It's super low. And I'm building a custom wide body kit that was designed by Kaiser Salim. Now I asked Kaiser back in 2019 if I could do this, and he gave me his permission to build this thing. I did not think it was going to take this long, but stuff happens, and this is where we are. So we are still building it based on that rendering. I'll throw it up on the screen, and that's what we're going to start on today. I'm using a new method today to build body kits. I try to use something different basically every time, and I'm always thinking of new ways to do it, and I think this is going to be a really cool one, and I think it might work really well. So we're going to try that. We're going to start with the front fenders. They're going to be the hardest to build, I think, and I don't know why, but I like to do that to myself. So I'm going to build the front fenders first. Excuse me. So I'm going to build the front fenders first, and then we'll move backwards from there, I think. Right. So that's about right. I think we're fouling the fender up there. Right here, where the fender's in the way. Both fenders are on, and it gives you an idea of just how wide this thing is. It's so wide. And they are tilted inwards right now on the tire. We could close, heavier than I expected. Today's video is brought to you by HR Headlight Restoration. I've been using HR for several years now. I got on with these guys really early in the channel, and we've been back and forth ever since as they take this product and move it from this concept to an actual marketable product, and it is finally ready. HR is starting to offer products to the general public. And firstly, they're offering their shop kits at a huge discount. So for $9.99, you get a shop kit. This is for someone who owns their own shop, maybe a detailing shop, automotive shop, and you want to offer this headlight restoration as part of your services for your shop. Maybe you don't have a shop, but you want to work in the automotive industry somehow and don't really know how to get started. HR also sells full-out dealerships. This comes with a fully outfitted trailer, all the gear you need, flags, promotional material, everything that you could need to take this trailer and be a mobile headlight restoration dealership in your town. Now, if you're a Built fan, this is really good because every purchase that you make at HR this month will have some kickback to the Built channel and go directly back into the builds that you guys know and love. They actually drove from Canada to Alabama. That's a really long way to meet me and my family about a year ago. And we got to check out some of the products, some of the stuff that they're gonna be selling. We got to check out their toter home. And they even gave my kids a ride in this little HR Jeep. This Jeep is gonna be given away as part of this deal. If you buy a kit this month or you buy a dealership this month, you'll be entered in to win this Jeep. I'm so excited that HR is launching their product in the States. Finally, if you've been looking for a way to restore headlights to make a little extra money in your business, or you've been wanting to start your own business doing something with cars, HR has a solution for you. Check out hrheadlightrestoration.com for more information on how you can get your kit, how you can get your dealership, and what this product can really do.
Angle the same is going to be tricky.
I was concentrating really hard, so I didn't film me making this little piece. I don't know if this is going to work. I'm kind of working theoretically here, so we'll go to the other side and see if it matches. I don't know when I stopped recording. Hopefully I was recording this. All right, so I'm having to use my brain a lot in this episode, which means it's hard for me to think about filming as well. I'm trying to keep everything making sense, but just in case it doesn't, what I did is I made this piece, this little bended piece right here, matched it, welded that to both sides on the same spot on the fender, just so it was kind of even. It didn't look the same, but I just trusted the measurement. And then I measured out a piece right here that was the same on both sides, cut an angle, welded that to the truck at that angle that I cut, and then tacked these together here on the end on both sides. The other side was a little bit higher, so I pushed it down. I'm using this straight edge against the door and some spots that I made on the door, like marks that I made with a Sharpie to check both sides, and now they're pretty much as even as I'm gonna get them. All right, so the next part that we've gotta make, I think, so this is the top of the scoop, and then that's gonna come down and underneath here, which I don't know if I have enough metal to do that. I wanted to have like a predictable way to bend, so I've been using this bucket, the bottom of it, and bending around that, even though I'm not really using this radius, which that didn't, oh, let's see if we can, ooh, you know what might work? Oh, you know what might work? Welding these together. Okay, so I quickly went and welded these together. Now, any change I make to one, I'll make to the other. That was smart, that was smart. I'll think there. I just spent a little bit of time making some adjustments. I had to cut about 1/8 of an inch off of this compared to the other side. I don't know if you guys can see this lower bar. I cut about 1/8 of an inch off to pull this in some more. And then up here I had to actually add about a 1/2 inch little section right inside of here. We'll grind that down and make it smooth, but I had to do that to get the scoop to be straight like it is on the other side. But what that means is that this will look, even though they're not exactly symmetrical, it'll look symmetrical because it's gonna match the truck and everything will line up with the body of the truck, which is the important part. So, I've got my structure made mostly. I think I'm gonna run one more right inside of here maybe, or maybe to there. Yeah, I'll run it down to there. And that'll build the bottom. And then we'll start working on composites. Okay, step one, yep. All right, so step one is done. I think it came out pretty good. I'll show you guys, I think a lot of this has been close up, so I'll show you kind of where we're going from here. So you can see we have our shape in the front kind of figured out, this rounded shape. All of this over the top is gonna be rounded. And then we have our scoop in the back. Hopefully you can kind of see where we're going. So basically all I did was create our planes, right? So we've got this plane that goes over here, that's gonna be the most complex one. And you've got kind of a sort of flat plane right here. That's gonna be on the same plane as the kind of arch that goes around the tire. Then you got the one that goes up underneath. This right here is open. That's just a big open scoop. I don't know what we're gonna do with it yet. We'll do something cool. And then because everything's the same, you come over to this side, everything's the same length, but you've got this plane here. You've got the one that goes down that way, the big open scoop, and the little thing that goes back down to the body. And the cool thing about this is I can go ahead and test this shape, and I know my door's open all the way, which is awesome. So I'm not gonna run into any fitment issues there. And I designed it so that the wheels would have plenty of room to turn, even if we drive it around slam. Now we can't drive it this low, obviously it's sitting on the ground, but we can drive it really low with this configuration from the wheels, and we'll be able to still steer and everything. So I was originally planning on using this and cutting out pieces of this to fit inside of this shape, and then using my metal as kind of a template. And I think that will work, I know it'll work. My only issue with this is getting it symmetrical on both sides. I can do it but it's gonna be time consuming, I think, any way you do it. Another idea I had, the second idea, would be to mount this to the car this way, right? And cut out my shapes. And then what that would do is give me kind of a pattern, and I could pull all those off, cut them all out again, and put them on the other side, and I'd have the exact same shape on this side and that side, if that makes sense. So I'd have like probably 40 of these kind of cross sections of the kit running all the way back, and then pull them all off, put them over there. Basically, it's the same exact thing. That would be good too. I think that would work really well. The only thing I don't know about that is how I would mount them to this without them moving around so I could get my final shape and then pull them back off without damaging the foam. But that's an idea, and it's a pretty good one, but I've got that one issue. The other idea that I was having while I was doing this is actually the original, the first wide body I ever tried to build. It was not on the channel. It was on the MR2, but it wasn't. I didn't film it. And it was building a structure like this and then stretching a fabric across it. Now, I know BS for Build did this with the Lamborghini and had some issues with the fabric wanting to like sag. And that's kind of my concern too. All right, so I went to the store and picked through their fabrics, and I found this stuff. It's just batting. I think you can put it inside of blankets maybe. But it's got a pretty good bit of structure to it, which is good for what I'm about to do. But also, you've got a lot of gaps here, like a lot of kind of holes, and it feels very much like a composite type product. So I think when I put resin in here, it's gonna get really, really strong and give me a good surface to build on. For you. You can see our fender's starting to shape up. This is how the front turned out. Before I go to the other side, I'm gonna keep going down this road because I'm not 100% sure this is gonna work, only about 90. So I'm gonna go get some resin from the house and bring it over here, and we're gonna coat this in resin, and then we'll be able to know, yeah, if this is gonna work or if we're gonna need to go to a plan B, but I think it's gonna work. Right, so at this point you should be able to see the fender kind of taking shape. This stuff acted very similarly to fiberglass cloth, so that's pretty cool. You can see where it like wet all the way out right there. That's gonna be a really strong piece. But I don't need this to be the final piece. I just need to be hard enough to kind of fill on top of. Overall, man, I mean, it just looks so cool. So I'm gonna let this cure, however you pronounce it. And then we will throw some cheese on it and see what it looks like. All right, time for the magic part. I let this stuff dry overnight just because it worked out that way. Check this out. That is a solid thing. It's super rough, and that's actually a good thing because we're not even gonna sand it. We're gonna go straight to filler or cheese. All right, and there we go. This is dried overnight as well. And that is so cool to me. I mean, we went from, I've been doing fiberglass since I was like 15, and it's still amazing that you can take this, something like this, and turn it into that. So cool. I think I can trim this up. I don't think I have to worry about this moving. I waited till we did Bondo to trim that side, but I think I can trim this just so we can get kind of an idea of what this thing's gonna look like. In the life of built, not just because of this, but a whole bunch of other stuff's been going on. I'm so excited that this video got out this week, and I'm so excited this idea will work. This has been something I've been kind of thinking up over, I guess, the past year or two, year and a half, of just how to build this kit and how to make it worthy of what this car is, what it means to the channel. And I think that we did it. This thing looks awesome, especially the side that's already been bodyworked a little bit. It's already so close to being ready for a part, like be ready for pulling a fiberglass part. So that's really awesome. This side obviously isn't, but I'm out of filler. It took a lot, and I've got to get some more. So I ordered 2 more gallons of body filler, of the yellow filler. I used to use the pink stuff you can get at like Walmart, but man, it's so hard to sand and it takes so much time. It's honestly, it's almost impossible to hand sand that stuff like I was doing this. And I really want to hand sand this just to make sure I don't make too many mistakes with the sandpaper. So we've got more coming. When it gets here, we'll start filling this. We'll continue to fill this. This primer is acting like a guide coat, so when I sand over it, it's going to show me all my low spots, and we'll start kind of addressing each little specific area rather than just the full skim coat, which is what we did already. So now that we've got enough surface on this to kind of sand back in shape, we can start addressing the low spots, places where the fabric sagged a little bit before it hardened and things like that. We'll get that all sorted, and we'll do the same on this side as well. I guess in the next video we'll do that. Maybe we'll get these things ready for pulling parts from. What is going to happen for you guys that maybe if you don't understand what's happening here, I'm building a blank or a mold, not a mold, a plug. So this is not going to be the part that I use, it's just the shape. We'll basically build the whole thing, make it super, super smooth, make it look like it's ready to be painted. We may throw some sort of paint on it, just to kind of seal it up. Get it really, really smooth, and then we're going to pull a mold off of the car. So with the fender on the car, I think we'll do a mold of it, which will be like a negative. And then from there, we'll lay fiberglass into that mold, and that will give us a finished part. Now what that's going to do is give us a really strong, really smooth, really sturdy piece that we can basically, we'll just cut off the whole side of the truck. So all of that metal that's under there is going to go away. We'll bond our new fender on. I think we're going to bond it like BMG. Bond our new fenders on, and basically the 2 corners of this truck will be fiberglass. I don't know if we're going to fiberglass the hood or not yet. Right now we're not going to. We're just going to go with this. But we'll have a completely new part. We'll do the bed sides like that as well. The front bumper is going to be a little bit different because we need to be super strong. So we'll be working on that. We might start that in the next video of the Datsun as well. And I think my goal is to get the whole front kind of done and then work my way to the back so it doesn't get too overwhelming. And I can kind of compartmentalize this build. So yeah, the next big steps are going to be continuing to bodywork these. I'll just be doing that. It's going to take a ton of sanding. So we'll continue to bodywork these, and then we'll be building the front end as well. And then once that's done and the flipper front kind of functions and everything, we will move on to the back. I'll probably produce these molds off camera because mold making is just time consuming. There's so many different cure times, and a lot of them are like 8 hours to 24 hours, stuff like that. So because of that, it's not great for making videos. So I may film that, I may not, but we'll see. We'll see where it goes. All of that talking to say, man, I'm excited that we're working on the Datsun and that we're doing such cool stuff. It really looks great. This part, this transition right here came out way better than I ever would have thought. I mean, it really looks awesome. This line will be our bumper, so our bumper's gonna come all the way up here and then go all the way across the front. It should be really, really cool. Man, I'm so excited. It looks so good. Especially to be built from scratch, like absolute scratch. I didn't even start with a fender this time. I just started with a little metal trailer fender. So very, very excited. I love this new process. If it continues to go as smoothly as it's already gone, this means much quicker wide bodies from build, which has been the issue the whole time. Wide bodies take forever to build. So if we can start building some stuff like this and it works, then we're moving in the right direction, guys. So oh man, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys are glad the Datsun's back. I'm talking like I'm super tired, so I'm gonna get this video uploaded and then I'm gonna take a break. I'm gonna rest for like a half a day or a day, and then we will get back into this. We will get into that. We're building an engine over there for a car that you guys don't even know about, which is pretty exciting. All those parts are over here. I've gotta pick up my engine for the MG. I've gotta move the MG here. Lots of stuff happening. The MG is actually going to go right here where the Porsche is at, so that the MG and the Datsun can sit next to each other, because they just look like they belong together. All right, I think that's everything for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you missed Thursday's video, I'm doing a $500 to $3,000 challenge with a Honda. So go check that out. We'll have the conclusion of that video coming up this Thursday, and then this coming weekend, it'll either be this car. It's either going to be this car or the engine for the MG. So either way, it's going to be exciting. If you're not subscribed, now's the time. We're building cool stuff. This is what I slept in. This is the kind of day I'm having. Oh, okay, I'm going to go rest. See you guys.